Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we are returning to Ultimate General American Revolution, an early access game by Game Labs, and it is available exclusively through Game Labs' website right now. It will eventually be on Steam, but not yet. It's still in the very early stages of development, and so this is a grand strategy map where you can fight the American Revolution on a strategic map and then fight tactical battles when armies collide, a little bit like Total War. Right now, basically, you've got New York and sort of, not New York, well, you've got parts of New York, but you've basically got sort of Massachusetts and north up into Canada and Nova Scotia. We've already taken Quebec. We've already taken Norwalk, which I believe is in Massachusetts Bay, technically. But the British still hold a lot of their coastal positions. We know the British have about 7,000 men at Fort Frank as of last intelligence, which is a bit of a problem for us because the largest army we can muster right now is 4,200 men, and we don't have enough officers to raise more troops. But that's by the board right now. It doesn't matter really too much because the British still have 3,400 troops between us and their 7,000. So first things first, defeat the British at Salem, do as much damage as we can to the 3,400 troops they have there, and try and move our 4,200 troops north so that they can gain garrisons at Lyman, at Stevens, and then perhaps at Norwich. All those combined, that's what, like 1,000, 2,700. So we'd have about 7,000 troops if we united all of those units under one command. But the first thing we have to do, we need to knock the British out of Salem, and that's what we're going to do today. So we're going to go ahead and get our army moving because I can't really get any stronger just by sitting. So we're going to go ahead and move these units out. We're going to form them up into brigades of 3 regiments each. Actually, up to 4 units can form into a brigade, but we'll do 3 each. Okay, so the first one, 1,800. Actually, what we're going to do, the second one will be 2. Much smaller brigade with Morgan's sharpshooters with them. And then the third will be the 3 militia brigades at Boston. So we'll temporarily leave Boston unoccupied. We will move one of these regiments back for sure. But right now we're leaving it unoccupied just so we can bring as many men to the battle as possible. Where are these guys going? Just stay here. Are the British moving south? Are they coming to try and fight us? There we go. All right, all 3 brigades are formed up. We'll form an army, 4,100 troops. We'll try and keep them as concentrated as possible. It looks like the British have decided to leave Salem. At least some of their troops. There's some battles going on off the coast. Great to actually be able to fight a tactical battle here. All right, here we go. All right, so the British have come out to play. This is Gage, right? Doesn't actually tell me, but I'm assuming it's Thomas Gage. It looks like he did earlier in the fight. You can see some of his regiments are pretty under strength, so they must be low on reinforcements. My troops are mostly in pretty good shape after months sitting in sort of Boston, not doing much, although a number of my units are actually newly raised, so newly raised regulars. We've gradually transitioned our army from primarily militia to primarily regulars, which should benefit us quite a bit in the upcoming battle. This is going to be a big one. You can see it looks like 2 batteries of artillery here, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 batteries of artillery maybe. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I think. All right, so we have our troops aligned in just a huge swarm. I wish there was a better sort of pre-battle deployment phase. That would be nice. But in any event, so what direction are we facing? The other way. All right. So the British are going to be coming at us from over here. We actually do have some nice wood lines we're kind of already deployed in. Deploy those 3 regiments in a unit. How did I do those 3 if it wouldn't? All right, I'm trying to deploy as many of my units into divisions as possible to increase their strength. Basically giving me more DPS, theoretically. The 150s back here are militia companies. The 120 are the regulars. I think the 180 are militia too. Okay. Once these units merge, I'm going to deploy them here. We can see the enemies coming at us too. Looks like the enemies actually merged some of their units also. So we're going to go ahead and try and form up in this wood line to give us some cover. Okay, the one advantage we will have is the enemy's going to be coming to us, which means our artillery will be engaging at shorter ranges. So that should give us an advantage to some extent. We do know... Oh, shit. Volley fire! Oh, God. I don't know if this is my computer or what, but it's a little laggy. Look at all of those swarms of redcoats. All right, I want to take advantage of this good terrain I have, though, if I can. And if I hit the hold button, it does increase our cover. Move those troops up. See if I can merge them. Some of these troops are in very loose order, but they're all still the same type of troop, which is what's a little confusing to me. You can just see huge swarms of redcoats, and I'm sorry if it's a little... I wonder if I can improve the performance if I... Graphics are already set to medium. I don't... I've got a 3080. I don't think that should be a problem. All right, they're on our flank. Bring those 240 men up this way. We have thrown back a couple enemy regiments. Numbers-wise, things are still fairly even. But the artillery is, I think, what's helping us. I think we just routed our first enemy regiment from the field. You can see the little white flag there next to the musket, means they're retreating off the map. Most of our troops here have decent weapons. United States muskets or what have you. They must have some troops with rifles, because they seem to be more troops coming over here on our right. We've kind of driven back, I think, what amounts to the first wave. There's more coming, though, I assume. Okay, we drove back that regiment. At least 240 men coming in on the right here. We've got considerably more men than they do. Okay. This is weird though. I've fought a couple battles which are similar-ish and I never had performance issues, so I don't know exactly what's going on here. Alright, so they've actually got at least about 600 troops between these two regiments on the right flank. $300 men, or 200 men in our center here, Cole's division. Blasting away at the Brits as they come at us. Holding in position, not overextending ourselves and chasing these enemy units that rout back or fall back. They want to stand in front of me. I've got artillery back in this wood line. I will gladly pound them to matchsticks. Charleville's in United States is on this flank. I wish I could upgrade divisions, but they're not formal units, so maybe that's why it doesn't let you upgrade them. Pound them back. All right, that unit's routing off the map. Very nice. All right, my extreme flank is now getting hit by 500 men or so. They keep trying to work around me and find my flank, it seems. Which makes sense, like they're kind of probing, which is kind of a neat thing to see from the AI. I think I've got Charleville's, so they're pretty good weapons. They're better than the best. Granted, those are militia and not regulars. I'm going to advance these 480 men this way to try and support that flank a little bit more aggressively. Bring these 300 men up also. I'm not in, like, good defensive ground. Hey, halt. Just shoot at these guys. You're not blocked by anything. Like, what do you think you're blocked by? Halt. I don't understand that. It says I'm blocked. By what? What am I blocked by? All right, they're kind of probing near our center. Doesn't seem to be a problem. This is the flank where we're in a little bit more of a dicey situation. Order these guys to hold in position to increase their cover. So many people shooting. A lot of casualties here. Bring some hunter rifles over to that flank. And also some militiamen as a reserve. That seems to be the area we're struggling the most. Wonder if it's the fog that's messing with things. I did have issues in one battle where, like the snow and the rain was causing performance issues. It was a smaller battle than this though. I was also running it at 1440 instead of. But whatever. All right, we're driving these bad boys on the flank back. So that flank attack seems to have gone nowhere for the Brits. Really curious about the hunters, if they'd be able to get close enough to the enemy artillery to drive them back well enough. Are they gonna try and melee me? Because we've got a pretty nice chunk of reserves here in the center. Nope. Jesus. Look at that artillery just single. I mean, the 160 muskets probably helped too, but that enemy unit just came up close and was like, nope, don't want any more of that. A lot of enemy troops on this flank. I haven't seen their cavalry yet. We were worried that they had a cavalry regiment. And I don't think I've really seen them yet. Some of these guys are low on ammo. Let's send some of these ammo boys up there to help. These guys tried to retreat. Had nowhere to go. I think that friendly fire moniker is coming on when artillery's shooting short. Several enemy brigades just got shattered. These guys are routing. Why are they meleeing? Don't do that. Just shoot. Don't melee, just shoot. I didn't tell you to melee. You guys have the hunters. Right flank is holding, but it's not pretty. Center and left. Also appear to be holding. Who's meleeing? Gotta be over here. Yep. All right. They're retreating into the muzzles of British muskets. Always a smart strategy, right? Okay, let's see if we can get this. There's 2 regiments here of about, well, I guess technically 3 that are kind of the problem here. If we can gang up on them, and we might be able to defeat them in detail. This is going to end up being a Pyrrhic victory, isn't it? Just by the sheer amount of men that are being, you know, flung around and yet nowhere near a decision yet. The artillery will run out of ammo and stop being effective at some point. Someone will run out of men to keep hurling into the fight. Theoretically, it should be the British, but we shall see. How much damage can 3 group troops do here? It almost feels like we're encircled here. Alright, you fall back. Don't engage the British when they're in a frickin' wood line. I really don't want to melee. This flank is a mess. Units are retreating here, apparently off the map. In some cases. Okay. I'm having to compromise the integrity of the interior of my line at this point. No, you don't need to chase them. What do these guys have? That whole volley looked completely ineffective. It seemed, are we losing? It felt like we should have been winning based on the initial attacks, but I don't know if that's true anymore. Where are these guys going? Like, where are your 200 men? You're not even retreating. You're just going somewhere. How does one turn around a battle that is so big that I have no feel for it? Are these Morgan's boys? No. Did Morgan's boys get driven off the map? Probably. They're destroying that entire company over there on the right. What are those two units over here? I didn't quite see what happened there. Are these grenadiers? They look different. They look like Scotsmen. Oh boy. Get up there and help the artillery. We need more ammo. I don't know if the enemy has ammunition carriers. I will say that. No, you fall back there into that wood line. Probably doesn't help that my general's kind of been in the wrong spot, I think, this whole fight. So they've got all this artillery up front here. But it seems like most of their infantry is on the flank. I don't know how much actual infantry they have left and how much of the remaining strength they have is tied up in their guns. I don't love that my units that are retreating off the map are just staying around getting shot at and taking unnecessary casualties. That doesn't feel great. Okay, so we've reloaded some of this artillery ammo. Maybe you don't just sit there and take damage. I hate these units. Get under that wood line. Then hold your position and just fire at the enemy. Part of the problem is, like, you're getting shot in the rear by enemy artillery. That can't be good for morale, right? Rear flanked. Oh, fucking A. Ah! I love seeing, like, 7 of the red coaches lay down when they get hit by artillery fire. Not that I love my unit getting flanked from the rear, but... yeah, I think we're losing this fight. This may not have gone the direction I hoped it would. They have so much artillery, though. It's like, what do you do? Because you sure as hell can't, like, melee the damn things. Okay. I think most of the things flashing empty at me are actually ammunition carriers. Man, these troops are not shooting very well. All right, those guys are running from the map. That's nice. They still have more troops coming in. Can their artillery maybe run out of ammo and then I can just clean up on them when they have nothing left to shoot? Is that feasible? I'm not very good at managing large battles. That is apparent. I'm curious about the actual casualties, though. I'd feel better about it if I didn't have so many units just wandering around aimlessly after they retreat off the map. Whoa. That's weird. Those units are moving really rapidly. Probably should have moved my general in range to those troops when they got stuck in their melee. I just want them to retreat. Okay. A lot of the British infantry are, I don't know if they're pulling back or what they're doing, but I don't know if my artillery can see these guys from here. Well, there is infantry back there. I don't really want to give up, but I don't really feel like I'm accomplishing anything. I just feel like I'm taking casualties with no apparent end in sight. Is kind of how it feels. And my army gradually, or not so gradually, routing off the map. Guys, I did not. Must have misclicked. I didn't want you to get up this far. There's Gage. Their commanding general is back here. And now we're getting charged and countercharged. Yeah, I don't think I can win this fight. So much enemy artillery. It doesn't really seem like having better melee stats really markedly helps against enemy artillery. Maybe a little. Oh God. I banked on them not firing a canister round right as I halted. All right, well that was pointless. Let's end this battle. Oh my God. Okay, so the enemy had more troops than we thought. That probably factored into it. Remember, we thought we had about 4,000 to their 3,400, but they ended up with 4,000 troops in this fight. So it was based, they had a slight manpower advantage. They had 13 more soldiers. They had 18 more guns. That actually makes me feel better about the results. We lost 5 guns, they lost 2, but both sides effectively lost 2,000 men. So not great that I vacated all my troops out of Boston. Let's hope they don't follow the advance up and try and take Boston. But yeah, our army lost 50% of its force. Their army lost roughly 50% of its force. If we take a look at units, I don't know. It looks like the British lost 2 companies destroyed. We lost 2 companies destroyed. A lot of units here in the heavy losses category for both sides. So pretty considerable losses there for pretty much everybody except for the ammunition carriers. Let's just pray that as our troops retreat, they garrison Boston and that we don't lose the city that we spent the first like 10 episodes getting in position to retake. But yeah, man, I was not banking on them getting, 20% reinforcements effectively. So let's all pull back to Boston. No reason to fight there again. Not at 50% strength. I'm hoping that, like, I can more easily replace my losses. All right, so our boys are back in the city. Let's see what happens the day after the battle. All right, so we spend $4,000. I'm assuming a fair chunk of that is, well, it's presumably mostly salary, but let's go to the marketplace. We can sell 1656 of our civilian muskets because I'm not negative 1656. I'm not intending to equip my soldiers with this, so that'll get me back in the black instantly. We'll probably have to move units that have the Charlevilles around to other weapons. I don't have much other cash. So, yeah. I would have thought that would have hurt my prestige, but I guess losses were about even, so maybe not. Let's use 13 prestige to get refill copper. And then we'll leave that as is. You can see here Salem has they must have put 500 troops in Portsmouth, and they came down from Portsmouth when they saw us moving, and maybe they pulled them back to Portsmouth now. So that's probably why our intel was bad. I don't know if the 500 troops at Fort Stevens would have really made a difference. But suffice to say, it definitely felt like a battle where both sides were pretty evenly matched. I'm not going to mess with New York loyalty, although I could use the cash, but I did get the refill the coffers of copper, so I can go back into the market here, sell the copper I just got. We're also going to sell some ammunition because we've got a little bit of surplus ammunition production here. All right, now the problem with replacing our losses, we do not have any officers to do it. I don't have any option to get more low-ranking officers. I am building schoolhouses and stuff to do that, but it's not really enough, I don't think. To the hunter rifle, maybe, because we've got Morgan's boys who need it. has enough officers. The British are pretty badly bloodied. I don't know how many replacements they have. Like, you know, presumably our recruiting houses and other things will make replacing our losses easier. I don't know if the British reinforcements work on the same way because they theoretically come from England. I mean, we've seen them replace losses in the past. You know, it'd be interesting if the game handled it where it basically just gave the British a pool of manpower to pull from, kind of like up here for regulars, and then loyalists, you know, would draw the same way that Americans do. That I think would be an interesting way for the British to handle losses in this game. But you can see the economy's not in great shape right now. We keep ducking into the red every day. I'm going to sell another 501 civilian muskets to get us back into the red or into the black for the day. We're not really drawing reinforcements. And most of the units that engaged had the United States weapon anyway. So that'll work for a day anyway. Also, I don't think I need to produce those wagons right now. I don't even have the horses to do it, so. I don't even have the iron and whatnot needed to produce these guns, apparently. It says we have 15 in storage, though. I'm not sure about that. You know what I'd like to do? I'd like to send these ships out to engage the British. Someone mentioned in the comments the other day that if you capture an enemy supply ship, it's worth like $20,000 when you like turn around and sell everything. I don't know if that's true or not, but if it is, that would be pretty freaking awesome. All right, we just got our production for copper for whatever it is every week. So sell that. Also sell the textiles. I'll do 84 more ammo. I don't know that that's smart, but it seems to be the only way to get me a little bit clear on cash. Officers are, hey, we got a few officers, so that's nice. Also, we've now got the option to do 20 low-ranking officers. Refill copper again. Raise funds. So I have 95 reputation, which is a good chunk. I don't want to spend it all, but I am going to go ahead and spend 13 on low-ranking officers to get those immediately. And we will wait on the other stuff. All of our money went gone. All right. Let's see how quickly we can bring in reinforcements. I mean, we don't have any sitting in Boston right now. Okay. So something to do with fortifications? Probably part of my problem with recruits right now is not enough money. Because they cost money to draw in recruits. Okay. I could use more money. I am raising funds. I don't know if I want to spend 11 prestige quite yet on that. We'll save a little bit of money. Drop our intelligence cost a bit. Drop our bounty. We get a penalty if we spend less on bounties right now. Like it's considerably higher than it started the game at, but the fact that it gives me an exclamation point and says there's a penalty if I drop it any further makes me kind of disinclined to do that. Okay, rum smuggling in Massachusetts Bay, where people already don't really like me that much. Current loyalty 43%. I won't confiscate the cargo. They're just murdering my ships as they come in and out of Massachusetts Bay. I've got a frigate. I've got a ship there. I think I can sneak. Let's try and sneak our 2 brigs. No. What is this? A 40-gun ship. A 40-gun ship. Can you sail away? Fucking A. What do you do? I mean, I guess if I had like 6 of these ships, then maybe I'd fare better. I don't even know if I can get out of this battle. I don't see an option to retreat like you would on land. They've also got a 3-star crew, and we have none. All right, well, we'll see what we'll do. We're already at like almost 50 minutes. I'm not going to fight that today. We'll see if this battle... I'm going to save this game, and when I come back, if that's still a battle we can fight, maybe we'll start the next video up with that battle. But that's going to do it for today's video. I hope you guys did enjoy this kind of frankly disappointing battle near Boston. We sent out a huge force. The enemy engaged us with a huge force. Both sides slugged each other in the face a number of times and effectively accomplished nothing but weakening themselves. That's a pretty good summary, I think, of where things landed. Yeah. It'd be great to have more recruits. I probably could have a bunch more if I had more money. We do have some recruits out west and north in Canada and Fort St. John. I don't know why we've got 1,000 recruits at Fort St. John. It would be nice if those recruits made their way to Boston where they're needed. We could potentially move some of our regiments out of Boston to nearby cities to maybe try and replenish themselves quicker, but none of these real close cities in an easy march have anything to write home about recruit-wise. We'd have to march some of these guys into New York, which seems counterintuitive. So we'll see how we decide to handle this going forward. But until the next video, this is the Historical Gamer wishing everybody a Merry Christmas. I hope you guys had a nice one. Hope this wasn't too frustrating of a video. It was a little frustrating to play, but I hope it still was worthwhile, and I'm interested to hear all your thoughts on how we should proceed going forward. Until next time, though, this is the Historical Gamer saying once again, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, I'm out.